found myself walking down a familiar path yesterday. I had walked it many times before, but it had been a while. My feet seemed to know exactly where they were going as I took those first few steps across that all-too-familiar bridge. Let a sense of calm and comfort rush over me. I knew this path, and I knew where it would take me. As I walked, I couldn't help but dance to the music that played in my headphones. Something about being back and knowing what lied ahead made me feel so comfortable, so safe, careless almost. The sun felt nice on my skin. It had been a while since I had taken a walk like this, and there were wildflowers growing up alongside the path. As I walked, I took note to pick some on my way back. Farther and farther I walked on this path that was once so familiar, until I reached a turn. It was a turn I had taken many times before, but something seemed different. Something was off, and I couldn't quite place it. It was the same turn, the same hill I had climbed so many times before, but it wasn't. I began to move more cautiously. The music that was playing in my headphones faded to the background. As I continued my upward climb, I spotted a deck of playing cards laying on the forest floor. Most of them were in a pile face down, but a few were face up, almost as if presenting me with a new hand, the cards I would have to play and use as I saw fit. I studied them for a second, but then continued up my walk. At this point, I began to feel like Alice, like I had stumbled down a rabbit hole, and I had to find my way back to the part of the forest that was most familiar, the part I had come to call home. But the further I walked, the less I noticed things. The trees and the bushes had grown up. Weeds had begun to encroach on my path. The stumps and the old logs I had so often used to balance and dance upon were covered with thorns and buried in new trees that were fighting their way to the top of the canopy. Their new lives were just beginning, at the feet of those who had fallen so long ago. Finally, I made the final turn that took me out of the forest. As I left, I couldn't help but feel disappointed how my forest had changed and grown since I had last seen it. I wonder if it was disappointed in how I'd changed and grown. No, the forest doesn't feel disappointment, nor will the trees and bushes lament over how I differ from last year. They knew I had to change, and in a way, I knew they had to change too. It was a new beginning, and my forest and I had been dealt with a different hand than we had played last year. It was unfamiliar and a bit scary perhaps, but it was what we needed. A fresh start and a new set of cards.